Hello everyone, do you know what happens if you pour copper sulfate into the eye? Or what kind of drink the Greek loved? Well, let's figure it out together. This channel is Facts Are Facts. Let's go. Fact number 1. In ancient time, Greece was not a single state, but ancient Greece consisted of about 1,500 separated city-states. The most popular of them were the Tau and warlike Sparta, and named after the goddess of wisdom Athena. But the biggest of all was Athens, despite the fact that each of the politics had its own laws and army. Conflicts between them were commonplace. The ancient Greeks also called their country Hellas, and themselves Hellenes. Fact number 2. The management of the city in ancient Greece was not the responsibility of one person, but of an assembly of all adult males. All full-fledged Athenian citizens at least 20 years old had the right to participate in the National Assembly regardless of occupation and property status. The competence of the People's Assembly included issues of legislation, domestic policy and international relations, war and peace, elections of the most important officials and control over their activities. Or the college of the richest citizens, who were called oligarchs, the ruling minority. Fact number 3. In one of the past facts we talked about the fact that cities in Greece were run by adult men, and they also said that their age was from 20 years old. The fact is that the life expectancy of the ancient Greeks, on average males lived up to 45 years and women up to 36 years. Deaths in children born were frequent, half among all newborns in the first year of life. Fact number 4. Greece in ancient times was one of those countries that used coins. In Greece, the more weight a coin had, the more it was minted. On the first coins, the faces of the gods and heroes were minuted in full face. In such images, the nose was erased very quickly, so later the Greeks switched to the image of the gods in profiles. Fact number 5. Democracy first appeared in the world in ancient Greece. The Athenian Republic was slaveholding in its class essence, and in its form of government it was a democracy only for free citizens. There the people elected a new king or the head of the council, and local residents received payment for participating in the elections. Because of this, there were a large number of voters at each election. Fact number 6. Mathematics is a great exact science that originated in ancient Greece. Many great mathematicians were born at that time. The ancient Greeks were the first to make mathematics a theoretical discipline. The works of Pythagoras, Euclid and Archimedes are the basis of modern textbooks of algebra and geometry. Fact number 7. Almost everyone knows that the Olympic Games originated in ancient Greece. The Olympic Games are the greatest of the Hellenic national festivals, the sports competitions of which were held in Olympia on the Peloponnese Peninsula in the period from 776 BC to 393 AD. During this time, 292-year cycles of the Olympic Games were held. They were named after Mount Olympus, where the god lived according to myths. Few people know that the first 13 Olympic Games consisted of only one discipline, running. Ancient athletes were also rewarded with olive wreaths, branches and olive oil in amphorae. Fact number 8. According to legend, the god of the sea Poseidon and the warrior Athena argued who would be the patron saint of the city. The gods gathered from judgment and decided that the power would belong to one who would bring the city a most valuable gift. Athena presented the residents of the city with the best gift, an olive tree, and Poseidon gave the townspeople water. At first they were delighted, but when they found out that it was salty, Athena was recognized as the winner. Fact number 9. The Greeks also loved wine very much and made it, but they didn't drink it like they do now. The Greeks didn't drink wine in its pure form. They mixed this drink with salt water because fresh water was too expensive. They drank it in the proportion of 1 to 7. The mixture was drunk during the day as a refreshing drink. Fact number 10. Now millions of tourists visit Greece every year, but the Greeks took care of them back in the 2nd century BC. After all, the first tourist guide was written in the 2nd century AD, and it was called Description of Hellas. In 10 books, the author of The Walk of Baboons invited you to travel to the most interesting places in Greece, describes temples, statues, theaters, and tells about the local way of life of that time. Fact number 11. Theater is an invention of the Greeks. It originated more than 2,500 years ago and was the favorite spectacle of the Hellenes along with the Olympic Games. Initially, the theater served as a form of honoring the god Dionysus. Since religion was closely connected with the life of the Hellenes, the performances told about the holidays of Dionysus. The nationwide character explains the rapid growth of the importance of the theater in Athens, the attraction of outstanding poets to it, the huge number of plays written for the theater, as well as the vastiness of the theater, which houses more than 10,000 spectators. The ruins of the teacher have survived to this day. The actors were exclusively men who performed male and female roles in masks. The performances were divided into tragic and comedic. Tragedies with the death of the main character were especially popular among the audience. Sophocles' tragedy Antigone and Aristophanes' comedy Birds are outstanding masterpieces of Greek arts. Fact number 12. The Greeks loved to read and listen to myth. In these stories, the main characters were goddesses who had especially blue eyes. The Hellenes wanted to be like them, but most of them had brown eyes by nature. Then they figured out that if you put copper sulfate in your eye, then your eyes will change color. The whites of the eyes really cured a bluish tint, but the health consequences were monstrous. If copper sulfate gets on a person's skin, an allergic reaction, rash, and itching are possible, and if copper sulfate gets into the eye, vision can deteriorate greatly and can also cause inflammation of the mucous membrane of the eyelids. Yes. This is ancient Greece with its own peculiar culture. The topic of different ancient countries is extensive. If you like this format of analysis, then subscribe to our beginner channel, like and write the best comment. All the best to you and see you soon.